Hi, this is Aaron with Zollotech, and today we're going to take a full look at the Kin 1 and Kin 2. Everything from the interface to the Kin Studio to everything about the phone. I've used them non-stop for about a week and a half and really wanted to give you a good overview, good review of the products and what they really are and how they compare. Since they're completely new, they're kind of a replace for the Danger phones. They're also a replacement for, or really the first Zune phone, but they're not quite the Windows 7 phone yet. Let's first take a look at the design, and then we'll get into the interface. So first off, the Kin 1 is a decent phone, but everyone I've shown actually does not like it. They say it looks like something to throw, looks like a woman's compact. I've gotten that. I show it to everybody I can to try and get their opinion. I've showed this from everyone that's that's about, I don't know, the range from 13 to 50 have probably given me some input as to the design of the phone. I know this is probably aimed at 20 to 30-year-olds, something in that, but generally they do not like this. It does have a slide-up top here. Really nice ergonomically when you use it. It works well. It's very compact. But overall, people aren't too crazy about it. It does have a 5 megapixel camera with a flash, an LED flash. You've got your USB port here. You've got 4 gigabytes of internal storage. And it does record video. It also has a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. And that's kind of it. Very nice, I think. Very good build quality. And nice and compact. In the front here, you can't really see it, but there's 2 little spots for a proximity sensor. You've got your earphone and your back button. And when you slide it up, it's a fully backlit QWERTY keyboard. Works pretty well. It's nice to use. Ergonomic, doesn't feel like it's going to break. Does have a removable battery. Let me go ahead and remove this here. You push this little bottom button here, and what you'll get is it pops off. Let's see if we can get this here. So what you'll get is this will actually pop off here, and you've got the back, really thin plastic, but built well, and then you've got the battery in the whole back here. So it turns out to be pretty nice as far as that goes, and then you've got your camera button. So the big thing with this is internet connectivity, in that it has at all times, and that plays a lot into the phones. There is no external memory port, so you can't add SD cards, anything like that. But really I've found you don't need it. So let's go ahead and, here's the Kin 1, here's the Kin 2. Let's take a look at the Kin 2's design. The Kin 2 is also a slide-out full QWERTY, and I've gotten much more positive reviews or results of what people think of the Kin 2. Most like it. Here we have a slider. Nice slider, open. I do have a different theme on here than the other one. You can change themes, and we'll get into that in the interface later. But again, we have the earphone port or the speaker for your ear. You've got your back button, your microphone. On the back, we've got an 8 megapixel camera that also records 720p video. You may have seen that video already. It's okay, great for a phone, not great compared to, say, a Flip Minnow HD. You've got your camera button, you've got your USB port. These are all micro USB devices. On the top, you've got your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. You've got your volume up and down. Oh, and I forgot to show that. You also have a volume up and down on the Kin 1. You have volume up and down here, and that's pretty much it. Again, removable battery. You pop the side off here, and it just pops out, and there's your battery. Nothing special, thin piece of plastic. Works good for what it's for. Aside from that, oh, it's not clipping back into place there. That's a first. There, we've got the bottom back on. So aside from that, you've got a full side QWERTY keyboard as opposed to the smaller QWERTY keyboard on the Kin 1. You could do one-handed typing with the Kin 1, and the price points are $50 on contract to your contract with Verizon, $100 with a contract with Verizon. On this one, like I said, you have the HD camera. You also have 8 gigabytes of internal storage in here, and that seems to work pretty well. I think that's plenty for these devices once you get into the Kin Studio and what they do with their connectivity and backup. Overall, the build quality is very good on both. Typing feels great on both the Kin 1 and Kin 2. Build quality is good. The slider never feels like it's going to break off. I've seen some phones they do. Ergonomically, though, you've got these camera buttons. There's a camera button right there, and there's a camera button right here. Now, the problem is with the slider on this one, you definitely need to hold it with two hands, slide it up. If you don't do that, it feels like you're going to drop it, and I would assume that's the way it was designed. But this camera button really doesn't work that well. You push it here, you're better off pushing it on the screen. There's an on-screen camera button. You push it, and it does go into camera mode. As you can see, it's flipping there into camera mode. It goes into camera mode, but it's difficult to push that button, and it's okay, but it feels like it's going to slip out of your hands when you're pushing it. This camera is very difficult to hold. You kind of have to hold it like that to get the camera button to work right. It's kind of awkward, but that's the way it is. So I've talked enough about the design. I've gone pretty thorough. Let's go into the interface. So I'm going to swap over here and we'll continue. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to show you the interface on the Kin 1, and that's because it's small. It's identical on the Kin 2. So let's go ahead and move over to the Kin 2. As you can see, there's the camera, reflective screen. Let's push the button, turn it on. I've got a picture on there. There we go. So we scroll. This is a multi-touch screen, and what this does is gather all my feeds into one, and from Facebook, from Twitter, from different websites like Engadget, that sort of thing, and we can scroll through those. If we want to view them larger, let's find a you can see it's throwing pictures behind here. Here's GDGT, Palm Pre, now popular. We can tap that and it will bring us into the story, the RSS feed. We can open it in a browser, and let's do that for the sake of the interface. It does take a moment to load. As you can see, I'm actually on Wi-Fi, but you get about the same speed on 3G. It's pretty good. And it takes time. There are a lot of secrets, or a lot of little quirks you'll learn about this phone as you continue to use it. And they're pretty good. It's well thought out. And you can see that took some time. The browser's kind of slow. I would imagine they're going to address that in some update. So to get back, we always push this button down here. We'll push back. And at all times, we got to push back again. And at all times, you can access your clock here. If we tap the bottom right, clock, time, battery, ringer, 3G Wi-Fi, standard stuff. Really nice, easy to get to. I do wish there was a standard clock on it at all times, but there's not, and there's not really much you can do about that at this point. Recent is recent things you've used. That can be music, browser, RSS feeds, that sort of thing, and your camera. So let's go ahead and we can slide to the right here or slide left, and this gives us some more of our settings. We've got our messages, our phone, our camera, browser, email, etc. And you've got different settings. Within the settings, you can change your background and themes. As we see on the Kin 1, this has a green theme. See the green there? This one's on the red theme. I just changed it to change it up, see it a little bit different. It may stand out a little better on the camera in green, but just wanted to give you an idea. When you change themes, though, it does make you reboot, which is kind of weird, but that's just the way it is. So let's go ahead and move over here. We can slide to this direction, and we can put favorites, different favorites. I'm not going to stay long on that page, but we can add favorites from Facebook, from whoever, and put them there, and it allows us to quick text. Or actually, let me show you that. If I want to quick text this person, I will touch the button and I can call, text, or open, and that's about it. I always hit the bottom button to get back. There are some times where the back button just takes too long and you've got to keep hitting it to go back and back and back. It's kind of annoying, but that's just the way it is. Email has some quirks as well. Let's go into email. You can do multiple email address books, but you cannot dump them into one place. So you can see here a bunch of junk mail. To delete, kind of odd, you have to hit it with 2 fingers. Then they come up and then you can delete them. And as you can see, it's not very fast, but this is not really an email phone. I would dare say it's more of a Zune/Facebook phone. Hit the button to go back. Again, 2 fingers, and that's how you delete. Let's go back. You've got your browser. That's pretty standard. The main thing that's really nice about this is music. Let me first show you phone. Everything is Windows 7 based or look alike. You can see there's your phone numbers, and they work. I have the volume turned way down. Let me turn it up there. And you can hear there's a little bit of a delay, but let's go into music, since that's what seems to be one of the big sells of this phone. It is the Zune. The only difference between the Zune HD and this is you can't touch. Let's go to music. You can't touch on the top to go back. You actually have to push the bottom button, and that becomes pretty tedious, and I hope the longevity of this button is such that it does not wear out and is durable, because you push this an awful lot. But there is a shortcut, and that's recents here. You can hit recent, go to your feed reader, your phone, etc. This is really more of a camera phone, a Facebook phone, and a music player. So the other big thing is the camera, and here's the camera interface. You can see it's actually 1:03 a.m. and that takes a moment to load. Now let's go ahead and scroll. As we're scrolling through, you can see it's a little bit choppy. It took some pictures, took some screenshots, some video. If I want to go into capture, we slide to the left or right. So we go back, we want to view our pictures, and we go over and we've got favorites we can add, or we can go back and take pictures. So it's going to kick the camera on. If I want to switch to video, I can tap, hit switch to video. It will switch to video. There we go. And there you have it. If I want to take a picture, I can hit this button, or I can push the button on top. So that's the general interface to this entire phone. Now, all of these pictures, all the pictures you take are automatically backed up online in the Kin Studio. So that's what we're going to show you next. We're going to go to the Kin Studio and give you a little look at that. So here is the Kin Studio, and in here we can type our status message. If I want to say, or if I want to type in a status, I click. Let's type in recording video for YouTube about the Kin. We'll hit update, and that should post right now to Twitter and Facebook. That's what I have set up. You can do that from the phone, or you can do it right from here. Right here we have different options on the left, photos and videos, and as you see the photos and videos here, here's a picture I took of my MacBook keyboard to play around with. You double click that and it will open up. And it uses Silverlight, but it will work in Safari or Firefox or whatever. You can see it, just click through here. And that's about it. The nice thing in the photos is if I wanted to share this, I can go to more and rotate it, download it, favorite it, delete it. If I want to upload it, I can simply click Facebook and it will dump to Facebook all by itself. I simply click a description, my MacBook keyboard, and if I want to share it, I simply share it, and that's it. If I want to go to the next picture, I click over here. Want to go back, I click there. If I want to go back to the main menu, I click back. So that's it for all your pictures, your movies. If I want to view all, you can click view all. It will take a moment, and it has this nice timeline at the top that keeps track. Now, since this hasn't been out that long, it hasn't accumulated a lot of time, but you've got that option for the future. So here's some close-up video tests I did. I did not show online just because I wasn't happy with them, but it auto-backed these up. So here we go. It's going to play here in a second. It does take a moment for whatever reason, and I can share this as well. Let's play. So this is a video I took. See, it's a little bit choppy for whatever reason, but I took this video, just trying to show the 720p video, but it was actually set to email, so it wasn't that high quality at the time. The other thing it has is GPS location or tagging, so we'll click map, and it will show us where we took all these videos and pictures. And you can turn that off if you're not comfortable with that. We can zoom in. It's kind of like a Google Maps or Bing Maps. It's pretty nice. And let's go back. So you've got all that for your photos and your videos. You've also got one part that's a little bit scary, is recording all your text messages. Any text message, any voicemail, any conversation. This is actually my brother that I've been using the phone to chat with. And here's a voicemail he sent me. And there's some things, sometimes you'll see text messages in here, things you send back and forth. Over here you see all your contacts. So if I wanted to share this photo, I could drag it to the spot. If I want to share it with my brother here, I should be able to. Oh, I guess you can't do it on here, but I can send it to Facebook from here. On the phone, however, you can drag it to the spot in the center and share it with these people. On your right here, you have your loop, or basically what you'll see on your front screen with all your different feeds down the side. You can view that here. Different people on Facebook, Twitter, Gizmodo, Engadget, Boy Genius Report, GDGT, and whatever else you want to add. I can add a feed down here, and that will show up right on the kin. It's pretty nice. Let's go to Goodies, and you see it opens a different thing. Oh, Flash, I have it blocked a little bit unless I want it. And we'll open Goodies. I really don't know what this is. Also, it's just talking about on a Mac and that sort of thing, ringtones and that. We can favorite things. We've got our contacts, messages. Everything that's on the phone is right here, and any picture you take is automatically backed up. Every video you take is automatically backed up. The only problem is if it's an HD video, it is not backed up. But other than that, it's a really nice way to get all your content. And while this may disturb some as far as having things in the cloud, you can dump it right onto your PC by downloading it. Apparently there's going to be a Mac version in the future of Zune because they're trying to spread this out with Windows 7 and Phone 7 and that sort of thing. At this time, it's only on PC that you can sync the Zune part of it, but as far as the Kin Studio, you can use that anywhere. So you've seen the Kin Studio, you've seen the interface, you've seen the Kin, and you'll have to judge for yourself if this is worth your time. The biggest problem with these phones is the data plan. Now, they are data-intensive phones, but that said, you can get so much more with an iPhone or an Android or a Palm Pre, that sort of thing. These are not really smartphones, they're somewhere in between, but they are a real Zune phone, and they're great music players. They've got some great features with Zune, with Zune Pass, but also Kin Studio. And the automatic backup and the 8-megapixel camera, I really find I like these phones, and I want to like them even more. In the future, there's going to be more updates from what I understand that are more like Windows 7, and I hope that happens because these are great devices, and I hope they speed them up. They're 600 megahertz Tegra processor, NVIDIA Tegra processors, just like in the Zune HD, and they're plenty fast. I just really, really hope that they update this to bring up the speed and everything else that that you see with some of the more modern smartphones. For the price, $99, you can get an iPhone with the same cost when it comes to data plans, or an Android phone with the same cost. So you really have to want this. It's a great messaging phone, great picture phone, and also great for video and getting all your social feeds. I like the way the feeds are presented the best, and I use this more than my iPhone when it comes to reading news and things because it's all right there, and I can send that with the Kin Studio. That's pretty much it. You can put them in the spot. I did not show you that, and I don't know if I really need to show you, but basically if you've probably seen this on some of the demonstrations. Let me go back to the main screen. Let's go back. If I want to share with someone, I hold and I drag in. And what I can do with the spot is I can say, okay, I want to send it to this person. I hit the spot, and that's it. I upload. And that's pretty much it. So anyway, this has been the Zune, or I'm sorry, not the Zune phone, the Kin 1 and 2. Definitely worth checking out. Go to your local Verizon store and check them out for yourself and see what you think. This is Aaron with Zollotech. We'll see you next time.